this Shang Chi conversation. So Aquafina, right?
All
Now,
right.
okay, now hold on. So I'm sure you've seen it as your guy in the news. There's been reports swirling of, cultural appropriation by this Asian woman.
Yeah.
B. Walt, he's got more of a history with her in terms of like where she came from and how she came up and stuff like that. But we were talking about this last week as well. So I want to ask you, now that you've seen the movie and you got a certain context many people don't have right now. What are your thoughts about Aquafina? Have they changed? Is that changed for the good? Is it the bad? Where are you at? And where were you and where are you at right now when it comes to Aquafina?
I love Awkwafina. I do. I've been following Awkwafina for a long time. Like I said, I worked at All Def Digital for a while. She crossed paths with us a few times. She was doing a lot of stuff in New York for us. And I mean, nice person, very funny, and creative, wants to get stuff out. The blaccent. The
The
blaccent
black
is
scent.
the issue that everyone is going off about. Now, yeah, okay, she's from New York,
Right.
and where she's from New York, it's very nice. it's like, for some people, if it's going to be a deep cut, but if you're from New York, if you ever heard of Riverdale in the Bronx, where you're like, oh, okay, it's a BX. Yo, it's like, all right, yeah, we good for this. It's a BX. No matter where you are on the BX, you good. Riverdale is not that part that you're good in. Riverdale is like a Yonkers. It's very nice, very white. And I bet when she's over there, she code switches. I bet she's not sounding the way she sounds when she goes back over there in that area over there in Brooklyn. That's really nice and clean, super duper gentrified.
Right.
But when she comes out of it to get to Queens, to get to everywhere else, oh, she turns it on. Now, are we going to say it's a blaccent just because it's got a little flavor? I mean, if anyone else hears her anywhere else, they're going to be like, okay, I know you're from New York. That's one. So does that mean that it's actually a blaccent? I mean, she's not saying the N-word. She's really not making a lot of hip-hop references. I guess I don't know. Try to think about how white people think we speak. But like,
that's tough. That's a
I mean,
tough one.
I'm just saying, how do Karens think that they hear us? And you're like, I don't know, he talks a lot about rap. I don't know, he's a weed. That's what they talk about. I mean, she smokes a lot of weed, she does. But I wouldn't say, like, what exactly is a blaccent?
That is up for. Are you asking? It's rhetorical.
Actually, no. Let's really go for it.
Well, in my opinion, it depends on the person that's hearing this accent, whether they come from, huh?
Well, I mean, it is for your audience. Code switching, though. I mean, that's.
Well, yeah. I mean, so, like, it's here's the thing. For me personally, I'll speak for me. And I know very little about Awkwafina. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I've been following her for years.
No, I mean, but pretty much, if you've known about her for about 2 months, you know it all. Trust me, that's not too much.
and her cadence, I'll put it that way, hasn't bothered me. It has not bothered me.
Okay.
Some people, but again, this is off a small sample size. Mm-hmm. So, maybe after I see this movie, I might feel differently. Mm-hmm. But how can I put this? Like, so I'm from LA, right?
Right.
And where I'm from I'm from West LA, so I get some of the connotations that other cats from Inglewood or Compton or Watts would say, whatever. But the thing is, like, I'm an 80s baby. and where I grew up in West LA, we call it the Jewish ghetto because like if we went right to the block on the right, drugs, violence, kids being shot, face down, I'm 6 years old. If I go left to the block this way, all Jewish, Orthodox, the curly sideburns, the hats that look like hat boxes.
Jeez,
on the hat.
Well, I'm just gonna blow you out there. You're in the La Brea area?
I'm over by you know where Hamilton is?
Oh
Hamilton
yeah. All right, okay, all right.
So,
that makes sense.
but like it's such a small, like condensed area. If you weren't growing up there, you don't know about it.
Yep.
People just have this thing. Oh, you're a West Side baby. And then I went to Palisades, so there's another connotation.
Oh.
But they don't know that that there were 18 buses coming in with nothing but black kids since the early 90s. Like you got to know.
Yep.
Like so I know what code switching is, right? And I've never heard my spider senses never went off like, okay, she's bullshitting and pump faking.
Same.
Like that's to say all that is what I'm wanting to say. So I got no problem with her, but again, it's been a small sample size. But I wanted to get your take because you got more of a body. Clearly, you got more of a body of work with her.
Yeah, like I feel the same. I just look. She's got a raspy voice because she's been a smoker since she was fucking 14. So that voice is not going to change. Now the thing is, a lot of people are upset and they're like, "Oh, so you have a blaccent and you can drop it." I don't know how she dropped it, but they're saying that she drops it for the movie. I saw the film and I'm like, "This is Awkwafina." I mean, have you guys not watched her show on Comedy Central?
Right.
Like Awkwafina from Queens or whatever. It's literally that character, and they just put it in this movie. And they were just like, "Hey, just no cussing. You can say shit, but no cussing." And that's exactly what happened. And I was like, that's exactly what I'm seeing. And that's Awkwafina. What are you talking about? I do remember a time before that there's video of her, let's say it honestly, blacking it up. There are videos of her blacking it up when she was early beginning. But I'm going to say this, truth of the matter is there's only one way you were able to get on back then, which was like, all right, who do I have to appeal to? Then let me do it. And people just ate it up. They were, oh, an Asian girl that's like black. I love that. And we never thought about that until later when we get settled. Then we're like, hey, hold on. What the fuck? And I think she figured that out at the same time. And she kind of let some of that go and she just still stayed herself. And that's what I see now. I don't see the blaccent. People are saying that whole thing. I'm like, yo, you need to watch earlier videos of her. You'll truly be upset. Because what you see now, it's like, oh, okay. It feels like if you watch early videos of her, you're like, God damn, is that blackface? Like, it feels like that.
Right.
So her doing what she does now, I think it's fun. And then people talking about how why isn't she doing the Asian accents in films? And her response was, I'm really bad at it. I'll go into one, all of a sudden I'm in another one. And she was like, if you're Asian, you know the differences in the dialects and how it goes. Like, I'm Haitian. I can do a Haitian accent and sound like it and do perfectly fine. But you ask me to do a Jamaican, and I'm like, damn, I'm not that good at it, B. Like, I'll fuck up and start going right back into Haitian. You're like, what the hell? So it's like she gets the same thing. Like I do for Caribbean, she gets it for that. And she was like, yeah, I'll start off here. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh my God, I'm Filipino. And then now I'm Korean. Oh, I'm fucking Cambodian. Like, so she's not going to do it. And I'm like, I get that. And it's like, people don't. And they're just like, well, oh, so you can do black, but you can't do Asian. And it's like, she stopped doing black a long time ago. She just heard.
Right.
That's my opinion.
I feel, so I forget her name. Back, what was it, like 2014, 2015? I'm So Sexy.
Oh, God.
Nick Young was dating her. You know, I can't think of her name right now. The blaccent was killing me with her because
It was
I
bad.
could just hear it over the radio. Like, okay, this bitch ain't black. Like this is before any video or anything had popped up, but just on the radio, I was like, wow, okay. And I get the business move behind it, but she's selling wolf tickets right now.
Yeah, definitely.
I wish I could think of her name, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Now.
yeah.
And
It's kind of like well, you're from LA, right?
Yep.
All right. Theo, the radio host, he used to be on a K-Day. He was an Asian guy.
Yeah.
Korean.
Yeah.
Sounded like the blackest man in the fucking world. And it was a huge thing when people started to find out that Theo was Asian. And he was like, yeah, I never hit it. I don't understand what's going on. This is just me. This is how I talk. And I was just like, all right, more power to you. Because it wasn't a blaccent. He just sounded black. He just sounded black. He was like, I'm Korean. I grew up in Oakland. This is my life. And I'm like, all right, I guess. I mean, that's how it is. But once people found out, they were like, well, we're not listening to you anymore. And then he was gone. Baker Boy showed up, and that was it.
All the Baker Boys.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You going, what? You
Man, trust me,
right
I have a zeitgeist of when it comes to pop culture of any type. So I know it, and I know pop culture regionally because I grew up in New York, but I was here in LA every summer. I know this shit like back and forth.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Are you from New York originally?
Yeah, Staten Island.
That's what's up. So you really are Wooden. Like,
oh yeah. I grew up at the same time as them, man. I'm like, yeah, I know.
That's what's up. That's what's up.